But unfortunately, I heard about a rumor, and it looks like it's been confirmed from my sources. Walmart is going to stop letting Walmart Spark drivers to do curbside pickup. But then I got, it's a triple order, $36.12 for 16.8 miles. 3 drop-offs and one heavy item. All is just a couple cases of water, 1 case of water and some other things. But the thing is, the reason I picked this over the other one, even though it's 3 customer, the number of items are actually less. I'll be going to Lincoln with this, but and just for 1 mile, let's see, is it 1 mile? Yeah, less than just over 1 mile more, I'm getting $13 more. Confirmed earnings today, $116.62. Confirmed, unconfirmed tips, $66.97. So that is definitely, that's what, 170, almost $180 in one day.
The Silver Dasher.
Morning. It's Friday. Getting ready to do my Spark. Got my order, but took a little while to get to it. First order I got was a Home Depot offer, and it was like 20 after 5. It was just for me, $7.74 for 13.3 miles. But it was only 1 drop off. Of course, I don't do that's worse than DoorDash. Then around 5:30, the new time that I think is, I got another just for me shopping, double customer shopping, $23.93 for 15.4 miles. I almost took it. I didn't like it. I tried to until a couple of days ago, where there was really funky, offers not showing up at the wrong time. So I may have taken this, but I said no, because it was this too was because it's a double shopping, and it was going out to Raglan, pretty far out. And I said, I didn't really think it was 55 minutes. That means it's going to take an hour. That means there's quite a few items. So I rejected. But then I got, it's a triple order, $36.12 for 16.8 miles. 3 drop-offs and 1 heavy item. All is just a couple cases of water, 1 case of water and some other things. But the thing is, the reason I picked this over the other one, even though it's 3 customer, the number of items are actually less. I'll be going to Lincoln with this, but and just for 1 mile, let's see, is it 1 mile? Yeah, less than just over 1 mile more, I'm getting $13 more. So, and that dollar amount is actually more than double than the mileage. So that's why I took it. So let's and people are saying, well, why don't you do that strategy for DoorDash? Well, DoorDash is totally different. One, since this is a shopping, this one I picked is 1 hour and 13 minutes. So for just over an hour, I'll be getting almost $40. That's over $20 an hour. DoorDash, because of my market, people say, well, you should still do it that way. No, I tried it that way, and it was a disaster. My DoorDash market is so small, and the number of restaurants in this area is so small. I only average 4 offers an hour. To give you some example, yesterday, in a period of 4 hours, I only did 9 deliveries. So my question to y'all, who constantly criticize, how many deliveries do you do in 4 hours? and compare that to mine. So my offers are very slim. So if I can get within $1 a mile, yeah, so you're not paying for on the return trip. That's true, but at least now that I'm back in the platinum, I can be a little bit more stringent for my market. I don't take those double mileage dollar offers, like that $2.12 over 10-mile Papa John order yesterday. Now, if it's within $1.02 of a mileage, or within $1.02 or a mile or two, and then I'll take it, because sometimes if you decline an offer, you get put back in the end of the line. It's just some good feeling. So yesterday I made over $60, which was better than average in my market for DoorDash. So I understand what people are saying. If I was doing this in Birmingham, yeah, when there's a high concentration of people, high concentration of fast food places and other restaurants, I mean, super high, yeah, I'd be very stringent. I would follow a lot of stuff. But Birmingham's over 45 minutes away, and so just to go there and come back, that's an hour and a half. I'm not doing anything. So we're not getting paid for anything. That's mileage for not even. You complain about me not paying for my miles. If I go, that's an hour and a half each day, then I'm not paying for anything. So anyway, here at Walmart, going to get ready to do the shopping, and we'll see how this day turns out. So see you in a little bit. Well, I just made the last drop off. Every one of these drop offs that I did shopping is to neighborhoods that I've been to many times, on each one of them with DoorDashing. So yeah, that wasn't too bad. The triple shopping. One customer just wanted 5 items, one including a bird feeder, and some cat food, and that was really about all they wanted. And so now I'm out here in Lincoln, and it wasn't very far, just across the bridge. So I've been out in the neighborhood I was just in. I've been there many times. In fact, it's the neighborhood where you mentioned, where I've taken many orders to the house that has like 4 or 5 people, young people that are living there. I told you about. Usually it's Chick-fil-A orders are sent there. So anyway, that's the neighborhood I went there. So anyhow, so I'm going to make my way back to the Walmart in Pell City. Maybe I can get another shopping. I just rejected another Home Depot. So yeah, let's see what happens today. So see you in a little bit. Well, surprise. Got me a small shopping. Was sitting at home for almost an hour. It's 8:20. Been getting a lot of, just for you pickups. And I thought, I don't pickups anymore here at Pell City. Unless they did a change management or something like that. But the incentive that I saw, I thought I was going to shop. No, the incentive is only for pickups here for the next 2-3 days. So that's why I keep seeing these drop-off incentive, but it's only for pickups. So I wonder why all of a sudden there's an incentive at Pell City only for pickups. Could it be, something has changed because they're trying to encourage drivers to do the pickups? Because me and Long, I know at least 6 or 7 other drivers that said they don't do pickups. Or if they try to, they always wait 45 minutes longer and sometimes they get canceled. It's very frustrating. So anyway, maybe I can find some out. Because to be honest, the person that I think was the person in charge of pickups, I have not seen that person for at least a couple weeks. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, let's go quickly back, do small shopping, and then on to the customer. See you in a little bit. Well, I just dropped off that shopping, and I'm going to try something. It's after 9 o'clock, and I normally stop right now. I'm going to try a pickup. It's a small one, $10 for 4 miles, 2 drop-offs, 28 minutes. Of course, I got to get there. Talked to one of the other drivers, and I mentioned, I told you about the gentleman that was in charge of the pickup. I hadn't seen him in a week. Well, I talked to that other driver. He said, yeah, that guy got demoted. So I'm going to give this a try. He said, yes. He said the pickups were all screwed up. But the same driver also told me the rumor has it that Walmart's going to stop doing, at Pell City, stop doing curbside pickup for Spark drivers. That sounds strange. Either they're going to convert all those to shopping, for a customer. Those who don't want to don't want to come and pick it up, somebody's got to put it together. So we'll see. So I'm just for kicks and grins. I think I made just for today. This is Friday. Just for today, I think I'm going to try a Spark all day here locally. To see what happens. There was another pickup that popped up that was for $25, but it disappeared. But like I said, that's a test. I'm going to try this pickup and try to do a pickup Spark all day. See what happens. Because my DoorDash, they still got me that -2 points, and I said, so I'm going to give this a try. So let's see what happens. See you in a little bit. Shocker. I arrived, and they delivered to me within 5 minutes. I can tell they got some new people bringing out the stuff. So maybe things are different. So anyhow, I think I decided I'm going to stay home today. Gives me a chance to catch up on some video work, and just stay home and start accepting shopping orders and pickups. It's going to be an experiment. Normally I would start getting ready for Spark about right now. So we're going to give this a try. Let's see what happens. So I'm going to head home and wait. So see you in a little bit. Well, just as I signed up, I picked up a shopping. Let's see here. It's $49.33. One shopping is going to take 1 hour and 10 minutes. No, according to this, no heavy items. So we'll see what happens. So see you in a little bit. Wow, that was very interesting. Shopping took a long time. It was at lots of frozen stuff, milk, but brought it out here in the area. I've DoorDashed plenty of times out here to a family that lives out in the country, right off the main road here, and they got chickens, and they're clearing out area for cows. Dave Hopper's pigs, and we started talking, farm stuff. I told them my experience with
family that do the exact same thing they did. And so, yeah, it's very interesting. They have I asked them if she free roams her chickens, and they do, but they lock them up. But they have a problem with raccoons. Raccoons will eat not just the eggs; they'll eat the chickens too. I asked, I'm curious. I asked them if they had a problem with a fox. They said not anymore. So, yeah, but that's that. She has a family of 5 kids. They want to raise some cow, to eventually harvest. Heck, one cow that can produce enough meat to feed a family for a year. But according to she agrees with it, but for her family, it would last about 9 months. But yeah, you would get whole kinds of hamburger meat out of that. Plus, the steaks and all the different and the roast and all that, everything from the cow. I told her how I have family that did that also. Did it with deer, venison. Boy, I haven't had venison in so long. My uncle in Germany, I think I mentioned, he was a member of a hunting club, and the hunting club in Germany are the ones that are allowed to have weapons. It's mainly just rifles. Basically, in their own every little city or state of Germany, they have these hunting clubs, and you have to pay pretty good money to be a member, and they're the ones that are responsible. They're kind of like the park rangers of the area. So even though Germany has quite a few deer and boar, and so there's areas, especially in the mountains, where there's wildlife. They maintain the population, and of course they have to harvest a few of the deer and the boar. But that's what it is. I told her story about I knew a farmer who had a problem with his kids getting too attached to the calves. So I don't know if it's true or not, but the story I heard that he named one hamburger and the other one named steak. So there no cute names for the calves. That's going to be grown up to eventually be harvested. So anyway, it's just a little after 11 o'clock. I did confirm from some sources at Walmart that there was a shakeup in the pickup. New person in charge is really doing a good job. Well, like I said, I did that pickup. But unfortunately, I heard about a rumor, and it looks like it's been confirmed from my sources. Walmart is going to stop letting Walmart Spark drivers to do curbside pickup. So if you're a Spark driver and you only did curbside pickups, this is going to be bad news for you. They're only going to allow shopping for Spark drivers. Hence, probably why they started doing triple orders for Spark drivers to get them used to doing that type of thing. So it looks like, and from my sources, it's already been implemented like in some Walmart neighborhood stores, that the pickups are only for customers, that for the customers to come pick up their own groceries. There's not going to be no more curbside pickup for Spark drivers. Now, for me personally, I don't mind that, but for people who don't like to pick up their own groceries, but they like delivery, that's where we come in and do the shopping. As long as the pay is good, because let's be honest, some of the pickups were bad. Now, I think there's still going to be the multi-package drop-off, the 20 drop-off those packages of 20 at a time. I think that's still going to be available. But just the normal curbside pickup, it's going to go away. Which makes me tend to believe that my going to Anniston may not be necessary here soon. Because the only reason I went to Anniston was to be able to do pickups. Because the pickups here were so bad, I couldn't stand it. But now that I did one pickup, it was $10 for 4 miles, 2 drop-offs. I got it within 5 minutes of parking. But if that's going away and it's only going to be shopping, my trip to Anniston may be limited, or eliminated, because I enjoyed the shopping here, and they've already implemented the new mapping system. So yeah, that's the rumor. But I'm gonna be honest, that doesn't really bother me, because for me, I can do the shopping. But unfortunately, I know from some comments from people that they only do pickups. So that's going to be interesting. And plus, the new tier system is going to be implemented here soon. Don't know when in my area. So, yeah, very interesting progress. Now, I'm going to Spark, and I've been doing this till 6 o'clock in the morning. I just took a break, and from these rumors, I took it. So, I'm going to try sparking the rest of the day. That gives me time. This is what I originally did on Wednesdays. I just stayed here, sparked the whole day, and I didn't get orders until the morning shopping. Then I didn't get orders until later in this afternoon. That's when I was also trying to do pickups, but the pickups were atrocious. So I'm going to try this method once again and see what happens. So I'm not going to spark. This may change some scheduling of what I do. So let's see what happens. So I'm heading back. I'm going to drive by Walmart. If I don't get anything, I'm going to head back home and wait. Maybe it'll get me something quick. Hopefully get a chance to get me something quick to eat. But like I said, and hopefully give me a chance to work on some more videos. But if I'm going to try now today, if a pickup is good, and of course if a shopping's good, I'll take it and see what happens. So lots of information, lots of new stuff today. So let's see what happens. See you in a little bit. Well, just as I got back up, got a pickup. $21.81 for 9.5 miles. Had one pop up before. It was like 17 for 24. I said no. But we'll see how well this will work. The second one. This one's got some big items. 2 drop-offs. Look at this. Look like some chairs. So this one, I can't pick it. In fact, I can't pick it up yet. Because it says an estimated time. So let me see if I can start it. Nope. Still can't start it. I'm almost about to start it. So anyway, let's see if this pickup will happen. So let's see what adventures happen. See you in a little bit. Well, I just made that last drop off. Wasn't too bad. They're right next to each other. In fact, I've been to the neighborhood earlier today. And the first drop off, they had ducks. For me, I didn't think they were real because they wouldn't move. But they're in the shade, so they get on. One was a black one. And then when I made the first delivery of the food, I came back, it moved. It moved over. So yeah, so now I've seen ducks. Check that off on the bucket list. So anyway, yeah, got that order. In fact, it was ready when I got there. So yeah, the new person in charge is really keeping everybody on their toes. And like I said, everybody that I've seen coming out of the pickup employees are new. I'd never seen them before. So anyhow, so now let's head back, see if we get something else. If not, I'm gonna go home and see if I can get something to eat. So yeah, this has been a very interesting day. I hadn't planned on doing this, but when you learn some information, you act on it. So let's see what happens. See you in a little bit. Oh, welcome back. I had to stop the Spark because orders kept popping up, something around. So I've been offline for about 40 minutes, and I just picked up another shopping, almost $20. Let's see here. What's the? Let's see, what's the? Yeah, $19.70 for 11.5 miles. It's one customer. It's supposed to take like 37 minutes, so shouldn't be that many items. So anyway, let's go to Walmart and do some shopping. So see you in a little bit. Well, I just dropped off that little shopping. Wasn't very much. Out here in Lincoln. In fact, this is the second time I've been in this neighborhood. It's right on top of a hill. In fact, it's right next to the Lincoln vet's office where I've been there. I've been there at least 3 times. So yeah, very easy. Now I'm gonna, well, close to the vet's office. Now I'm gonna head back and see if we can get another order. So see you in a little bit. Waited at home for a little bit and picked up another shopping. This one's $29.22 for 2.4 miles. Total time 37 minutes. So let's head to Walmart and do some shopping. See you in a little bit. Well, that's it for me. It's after 3 o'clock. I've been doing this since 6 o'clock this morning. On and off, you know. I think I've been home about altogether 3 hours in the almost, or over just over 2 hours during this whole time. The only reason is I decided to try the Spark all day because I've heard of a management change. Sure enough, I did 2 pickups and I got them within 5 minutes of parking. So yeah, and today, I guess today being Friday, quite a few shopping, but you know, there was all about 20-30 minutes, waiting for an order. I've seen a couple orders pop up. I did grab one, but I didn't like it. It was like $28 for 20 miles. This is because I was trying to grab them as they were popping up. And I said, nah, I don't like that one. So I took that back. So yeah. So that's it. I'm going to head on home and we'll give a summary of the day. So see you in a little bit. Well, I'm home. It was a really interesting day. Today was Friday and I normally do Spark in the morning and then DoorDash in the afternoon. But in lieu of some information that, I made a comment to one of my driver friends. I asked him, I haven't seen the guy that's in charge of the pickups department. I haven't seen him in like 2-3 weeks. And then he said, well, that guy got demoted. I said, really? So yeah, they got a new person. And according to him, she seems to be doing pretty well. I've heard a couple other sources that said the exact same thing. So, right after I did that second shopping, I went in and tested a pickup. And I think it was like $10 for 4 miles, something like that. And sure enough, I got it, parked. Within 5 minutes, they delivered. So that's when I decided, let's try to do a Spark all day here and see what's going to do both shopping and pickup. And since then, I did another pickup. Exact same thing. Parked and got it within 5 minutes. And I got lucky and I got another big shopping. I did several shoppings. So, yeah, so I decided to Spark all day on a Friday. Now, in light of this information, this may change my perspective of what I do. I used to, when I first started doing sparking, when I decided to Spark all day on Wednesday, I stayed here. And what happened was I get the spark in the morning, and then nothing would happen until I won't get another shop until like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, which is fine. But it was a long day sitting there waiting and rejecting all the pickups, because at the time I couldn't get a pickup that was constantly canceled. 45-minute waits or longer. It was god awful. So, in light of this, might change my schedule. Maybe what I could do is instead of sparking all day Wednesday, I'll spark all day Friday, and Spark and DoorDash Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And of course, still do spark all day Sunday, but go to Anderson. And the reason I would do that is because I have to go. It gives me a chance to check on my parents' house. So with that information, let's go ahead and take a look at the numbers. So let's see here. First of all, let's check how many trips I did. Let's bring up today. I did 7 trips today. So, and looking at the numbers, let's see here. Trip earnings, I did. So the confirmed earnings today, $116.62. Unconfirmed tips, $66.97. So that is definitely, that's what, $170, almost $180 in one day. I don't think I ever did that in any day with both DoorDash and Spark combined, or an all-day Spark. I don't think I ever did that. So it could be because maybe it's a Friday. Don't know. So that's what I said. Might have to rethink some things. I will tell you this, though. I cannot Spark all the time. It's too tiring. What might make the difference if I Spark all day here, because it gives me a chance to go home, wait on orders, gives me a chance to bring, and if I need to, I can take a break for an hour and just start back up. That's what I did. It was already 12 o'clock. I hadn't eaten. I was hungry, and I was coming home, and more orders pop up. So I said, let me stop the Spark. So I stopped the Spark for about an hour. Give me something to eat, and I start back up, and then we continued. So, yeah, that was interesting tidbits. Again, I've talked to several sources that the Walmart Spark drivers will be removed from curbside pickup and only do shopping and probably that multi drop off. It's probably a reason why we have triple orders now, is to compensate for the pickups not being done by the Spark drivers. So if a customer wants to do pickup, they have to come in and get it themselves. That's for one what I've been told. So anyway, well, I hope you like this special all-day Spark Day here on Friday. So if you like the video, I urge you to select like. And if you enjoy what I do with the channel, I urge you to subscribe to the channel, and also urge you to subscribe to the club. You can see a recap of the week that I post every Monday, and plus some little other tidbits I post for members only. So yeah, today's Friday. It is my pick. I told my wife that. She said, "You sure about that?" She seems. Last week we went to Longhorn Steak. She didn't want it. I made that a suggestion. I said, "Okay, we'll go there." I said, "Well, that is your pick." She's trying to convince me that was my pick last week. Nope, not going to happen. So, don't know where. Probably Chinese buffet for me tonight. So, yeah. Tomorrow Saturday, I don't do any gig work because I got to do some pruning of hydrangeas. And do some other, I got to go to look for some ferns. For y'all who don't know, I've mentioned it in the club. One of my other hobbies I do 3D printing. And I've purchased some plans that helps me build planters for plants, pots and all that. But it's a system that I can hang 3D printed planners either on a pole, horizontally or vertically. And so in the recent day, I've been redoing. If y'all don't know, I've inherited my mother's cactus plants, but unfortunately, the cats have destroyed one of them, and another one died. So I've moved them and put them in new pots and a new system, and I think they're starting to recover. So, but I've been using 3D printing to provide planners for them. So anyway, yeah. Also check the channel for all the equipment I use, from the bags for door dashing, the bags for Spark. Also, I got my cart now on the link go to my kit site, and also check out the link for my clothing store for both Spark gear and Dasher gear. So, well, we're going to end with that. We'll go inside, get cleaned up a little bit, and get ready for going to dinner. Then we go back to Walmart. We try to do our Walmart. We try to go out to eat and then do our Walmart shopping afterwards. Tidbit: always go out to eat first before he goes grocery shopping. So anyway, we're gonna call it a day, and we'll start up back on Sunday. So we'll see you a little bit.